Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking to you about some products that I do not want, so aka an anti-haul. I've done this before, so I just thought I'd do it again. It's been a while since I did one last time, and there's been a bunch of new product releases and or product announcements, and there's a lot of products that I just don't care for. So I thought I would just have a quick chat to you about why I don't want those products. So if you are interested in seeing that, then please keep on watching. Okay, so the first product that I don't care for is the Huda Beauty mini palettes. I don't actually know what their technical name is, but she brought out like 3 or 4 different like mini palettes with, I think there was like 9 shades, but like smaller. I'll put a picture up below so you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I just don't care. The only one that I really liked was like the red warm tone one, and I've got a million palettes that already look like that. The bright one, I would just never reach for it. I think it's a cute idea every now and then for filming videos or whatever, but I just wouldn't get any use out of it and it'd be a waste. Anyway, I really like her Desert Dust palette. I do use that one all the time. That was one of my favorite palettes from last year. However, I don't care for mini palettes. I think they're a little bit gimmicky. It would be convenient to travel with, but I've got other palettes for that, so I just don't think I need to waste my money, to be honest. Another palette that I don't care for is the Anastasia Prism palette. I know that's just a holiday palette and I'm sure it's not going to be around for much longer. However, when I first looked at it, I was just like, yeah, it's pretty nice. It's got a couple of nice shades in it. However, I just don't think it's a very cohesive palette. I don't know how I feel after the Subculture palette, so I feel like I'm keeping my distance from Anastasia eyeshadows for a little bit. I saw a lot of people say that the formula is pretty much like Subculture, and then I saw a lot of people saying that it's back to the same as Modern Renaissance. So I don't know what to believe, but I just don't think I need the palette. It didn't really do much for me, and I feel like I would have bought it and probably used it once and then not again. So that's why I'm giving that one a miss. So I've got a lot of palettes to talk about today. So there's another palette that I don't want and another holiday one. I probably should have done a holiday anti-haul, but anyway. It is the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palettes. When I first saw this, I really did like it. I think Kat Von D eyeshadow palettes have never done anything for me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's how they're presented in the palette. I really don't like the whole long eyeshadow thing. I prefer circles or squares. I don't know if it's just like a mental thing, but they've just never done much for me. I always thought her eyeshadow palettes were either really, really out there or really, really boring. There was like no in between. However, when I saw the Saint Sinner palette, I was like, I feel like it had a bit of both, but then when I actually looked at it in sections, I was like, what would I do with this palette? I feel like there's so many mismatched eyeshadows. The way it's placed is kind of confusing and doesn't really inspire me too much. I feel like if I bought it, I would probably only use like 3 or 4 shadows out of it. That were probably like the warm tone ones. So really overall, I feel like it would have been a waste of money. I think the packaging looked gorgeous. However, I just don't think it would have been a very good investment purchase when it comes to makeup. I feel like it would have been a bit of a waste for me. So next up is 2 more eyeshadow palettes from the one brand. It is Too Faced. I don't think I can go one video where I trash talk brands and not talk about Too Faced or not bring up Too Faced somehow. Somehow they always come into the equation because they're always bringing out lackluster products. Sorry, not sorry. But anyway, their White Peach palette is so boring. I even saw swatches of it the other day and I feel like that made it look even more boring. It's because when I first saw it, I thought it was boring, but then upon looking at it again, I'm like, okay, like I feel like I could work with that. It's a little bit more different for Too Faced, but then when I saw the swatches, I was just like, no, I feel like that would be a mess waiting to happen because all of the shades look very neutral. Not like there are pops of color, but I feel like once you swatch them or once you take them out of the pan, they kind of all neutralize. So I feel like once I put those on my eyes, they would kind of all blend together and wouldn't really give me much of a gradient. So I'm steering very clear of that. And then also the chocolate gold collection just doesn't do anything for me. Can we just talk about how disgusting the bronzer looks? I I know that's very harsh words, but it literally looks like there's huge chunks of glitter in that. Look, I don't mind a shimmery bronzer. I actually quite like to have like a dewy bronzer on my skin. However, there is quite literally chunks of gold in that bronzer. Why? Like, why? And then the eyeshadow palette is actually not that bad. However, I just couldn't see myself reaching for it. The shimmers in it look okay, but I just, if I'm being honest, I just don't trust Too Faced eyeshadows anymore. Every time I swatch them, every time I see anyone swatch them, they just look chalky. They just look like they're terrible to work with. I don't even know what else did they bring out in the chocolate gold. Nothing gravitated towards me, so it's a no from me. Okay, so my next product in the anti-haul is the Kylie Cosmetics Wet Set. So I don't know if this is still available. I've got a feeling it might be, but I know she brought it out in her holiday collection. Look, it actually looks gorgeous. I'm just going to say that. But what I'm going to follow up with saying that is, if you saw my previous video or a couple of my previous videos where I was talking about dupes, Colourpop eyeshadows are quite literally exactly the same. The Super Shock ones, not the pressed ones. The Super Shock ones, when I saw like someone do a video when the first wet set first came out, they're like, wow, this is like such a revolutionary formula. When you like put your finger in, it presses in. It's literally like the Colourpop ones. Quite literally exactly the same. And I don't know how people are losing their shit over this wet set thing when Colourpop did it years ago. And isn't it like $72 US? Are you joking? That is literally ridiculous. Like, the pans are huge. Like, that product will probably you'd never use it up. It'd go off before you use it up. But $72 when I can spend under $10 for one whole one that I like, rather than getting 4 where I can probably use 2 out of 4 of them. No, not for me. That's a hard pass. Okay, the second last product in my anti-haul is the KKW Beauty Ultra Light Beams and then the associated lip glosses. I mean, they look okay, but like they're not revolutionary. I think it's cute. I love that it's called Ultra Light Beams because I'm a huge Kanye West fan, but I don't know, I don't really have much to say about it, but it just, when I saw it, I was like, it doesn't pique my interest. So many brands have done like the exact same thing. The glosses look pretty, however, I feel like she's ripping off Rihanna a little bit with the Fenty Gloss Bomb, because she does have 4 shades, so like they're not all going to be exactly the same, but there is one where I saw that I'm like, that's very similar. But anyway, I just don't care for it. I feel like there's a lot of things out there for a lot cheaper price. Her shipping is pretty expensive. Once you do the conversion from US dollars to Australian dollars, you're spending a lot of money on something you can get for a lot cheaper, aka Colourpop. And then the last product in my anti-haul is the Hourglass Stick Highlighters. It's like the foundation stick, but highlighters. I'm sure you've already seen it. And I mean, I love Hourglass. I'm obsessed with Hourglass. However, the reason this is in my anti-haul is just because I don't really like stick highlighters. I've got a couple and I just find they lift up my foundation. I think the reason for that is the fact that I do have quite dry skin. So most of the time with my foundation, I'm not actually setting down my whole face with powder. So when I put something over like a dewy foundation, it just lifts it up. It doesn't really blend out very well. And yeah, and the colours don't really do it for me, and I don't really think they look that blinding. I saw a couple of swatches and they look pretty, but for the price that Hourglass charges, I think I can give this one a miss, to be quite frank. So those are all my products in my current anti-haul. If you liked this video and if you want to see me do more anti-hauls, then please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!